Hi lads, welcome to the Charleville Coves Home and Away page here. I'm here one of the legends of the town, originally Ballyhay, I have to get that in there, Mr. Billy Fitzgibbon. Billy, I suppose I know a lot about all your family here, I'm friends with all the boys and your daughter and know them for years, but I suppose, Billy, tell us a bit about your past, your upbringing and where you were brought up and when you moved to Charleville.
I was born in Ballyhay and I had 4 sisters and 5 brothers. I went to school in Ballyhay, but I didn't move to Charleville till 1968. I got married to Nola Dillon. She came from Broad Street, and I better say a bit about her father. He was a great hurler. He played full back with Charles.
What was his name, Billy?
Billy Dillon. He played full back with Charles in the 46 and 47 intermediate. He played with Ballyhay before that himself, and Mick Carney and Ned Haw. And the Ray brothers, Johnny, Mick and Ned. But the parish rule came in and they moved to Charleville. And he went to, I never saw him playing myself. I was too young. But I took up hurling in myself, of course. We came to, I married Nola in 1968. And we stayed in the flat down in Belfort House, down the Kilmallock Road. Right. And then we moved here in May 1970. And we got on okay, we had a good time, we lived away peacefully and quiet. And I had 1 daughter and 4 brothers. The brothers, Sean and Brian, were very interested in soccer. Yeah. They played soccer with Charleville, and Kay played a bit of soccer when she was younger. But every time she went to hit the ball, she fell. But the boys are fairly handy to soccer.
They were.
And now I have a grandson, he's playing over in Bury, Tony.
Yeah.
And Brian played football too with Charleville. He won the county novice medal against Fremont.
So did Froggy as well, didn't he? Froggy played football.
Froggy played football as well.
Yeah.
They were beaten in the county under 21 final by Castlehaven, and he was injured that day, so he didn't play. He wasn't able to play. I played a bit myself.
I heard you were handy, Billy. I heard you were handy, no? I told you cut a fill in half, I was told.
I was very quiet. I was too quiet. I show you all the scars I got.
Yeah, Billy, I suppose, what about your mum and dad? Can you give us any on your parents and where they were situated?
My dad was a very quiet man, and my mother died when I was very young. I was only 8. She died on Christmas morning, 1950. And I had 2 brothers and they died young as well. I'd say one of them had Parkinson's. He was going on in a wheelchair. I had Parkinson's myself now. But not too bad. I could hit you a poker in a minute.
I'm sure you could. I don't want to test that one out.
But I worked hard at home when I was young. I used to cycle into school, cycle into work in Golden Vale. And when we got the snow there for the 6 weeks time, I walked it in and out. I milked cows in the evening after cut turf up the mountain with my father, and it was hard going that time. Cycled into work in Golden Vale, cycled back to the Scarrow, tugged out by the ditch in the rain to play a match, and cycled home again.
Massive different times, Billy, yeah?
All the young fellas today wouldn't do it.
No.
We saw hard times,
yeah.
But we were happy, we had enough. My first pay packet in Golden Vale was 12 and 8 for 3 days. Then I got 25 and 6 for the week. And I done a job in one of them tanks you see polished there, for collecting the milk, the different lorry to them. And Dave O'Loughlin, he was manager at that time. He came up and he saw the work, and he gave me a rise to £3, which was good that time. If you put attention in at that time, you would be flying. And you get 16 pints for a pound above a Mary Hurley's.
Oh, jeez.
When I stopped the drinking.
Did you get in the price of it now?
1 and 3.
Huh?
It was cheap.
Huh? We'd all be on the liquor 7 days a week if we could buy it for that now.
I bought my own clothes and looked after myself. And my first bike I bought was a Motor Cane. I had it out to work. Then I moved on to a Fiat 500. And John Shore, a neighbour of mine, was working below at Hare's, the butchers. And I was getting my drive into work. And my parents were very careful about the car when I got it first. I painted the shade And the Friday night, he'd put the bag over the engine and he'd tell nobody. So I went back to the road one morning and we saw all the smoke flying out the bag. Sure, he never took off, we never took off the bag. He never told us he put it up. We were looking wind gun fire.
Didn't you tell me a story one time that you had one of the first pints you had was with my father somewhere?
Oh, the first drink I had was with your father, Paddy, that was him, Jim Kiley, Timmy Sullivan from Essen.
Where was that? Where did you have the pint?
Below Mrs. Kelly's, across from Packy Brian's. There was a pub called Kelly's there that time. I was asking somebody below on the four winds one day, and the only fellow that I remember was Paddy the Scanlon.
Oh, where?
My first drink.
I don't remember that.
My first drink was a bottle of time with the three lads. And Tim Son and myself cycled home then with pea caps and the dark and the flash lamp and the pea caps turned on the back. Up over the high bridge and down the other side of the line.
That's the job.
But then Tim Son had a car, HIU 786. He used to give Tim Finney and myself a drive into work. And one morning we were coming up to a snow underground blood high bridge. He said to skeet into one go up. He got us out to push it. So he was on his leg guarding. He left the two boys, like two ages, pushing the car up, and then the car gone up himself. But it was a laugh anyway.
Come here to me. Did you tell me that you had one or two funny stories you'd like to partake in before we end it? Give me your best two.
You would have missed two now. There was two young fellas at school one day, and the teacher wrote up a word on the board. Contagious. And she asked the one lad, Paddy, give us a sentence now with work on it. My nanny won't let me go to see my uncle at night when I go home from school because he has the measles and they're very contagious. And she said, what about you, Johnny? My mammy won't let my daddy cut the law because he takes the contagious.
Very good. Right, that's number one. Give us one more.
A joke about hurling now. I always laughed at it. Fella here were playing a county final above Kilburn one day, under 21, playing a fiercey. And Willie Horgan of Brian Dillon was the referee. And I was late going to the match, and the boys in Kilburn knew me very well. I haven't restricted anything, but this in below the back of the goal. And the centre back from the fiercey was doing a bit of play guarding. And I went up to them at half time and said, now if I was no shoes, I'd report the centre back. He's a bit of a guard. I said, I'm a neutral man. I thought he was the umpire was with Brian Dillon's. He said to me, where are you from? I said, I'm from down the road in Kilworth. To tell you the truth, he said, I'm from down the road too myself, and I never before saw you.
You got caught.
I got caught.
Caught rotten.
My first game against Charleville, I'd have to mention this, was minor. I was only 16. I was on Jerry Scanlon after Mercenary all. And Jerry I was afraid of my life. I thought he cut the ears off me. But we became great friends after. And I'm sorry he passed away there a couple of months ago. When I moved up further in, up to junior, my friend was Tommy Grady.
Right.
Tommy, I was always knocking Tommy. And Tommy was right below the lift, and it's very hard to knock him an hour. And we were playing a match over in this from one night, and one of the selectors, Valley here, came up to that. For fuck's sake, he said, will you get out in front of him? You couldn't get out in front of him because he's two hands out and he's ass back. And so Tommy must have a great friend. But you will make great friends in hurling.
Yeah. And I'm heavily involved in it myself in the town, and your reputation procedure. I spoke to fellas your age group and they said you were a hard boy in the pitch.
I should even think so.
That's what I was told anyway. I'd say the boys heard it too somewhere.
Yes, I suppose I was no angel.
No, but where did they get all the soccer from? It must be from Nullick side, was it?
I know, and Billy didn't never said soccer.
Did he?
I'd say the boys he was friendly with got him to say soccer.
Yeah, no, they're fabulous soccer players too. I seen enough of them playing.
My first time seeing him playing.
And obviously, your grandson
Tony
got to another level with it, like. But
yeah. But my first game, to go to see him playing soccer below the Deer Park, across from the hotel.
That's right.
And I stood up in the ditch watching it, the boys, Brian and Sean. And the boys were shouting, mouths around, come on in, Billy, come on in. I didn't win for a while, but when I got interested in it, then it takes a while to get used to the soccer. I was very interested. Sean Fitzgibbon laughing at him, myself was getting the referee in afternoon.
I had, well, the stories I remember for you were going down to the football matches is you and Shawnee on the sideline with two umbrellas, and I'll say no more after that. The linesmen want to watch himself pass knee anyway, I know that much.
Yeah.
But no, you were great characters. The 2v8 matches it was gas to sit and listen to you, and you know. And I suppose you were excited for the boys, you're having two sons in the team, and Eamon, naturally Shawnee had Eamon playing.
Yeah.
But listen, Billy, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I think now what we're going to do is we're going to try and get you to play a few tunes in the mouth organ, if that's all right with you. Good.
This area around here is called Cooleen's, and it's called the Button Road, and it's called the Old Cork Road, with 3 addresses. But my house here is Humorous.
I see that on the wall, yeah.
That's it. Well, I was looking for a name for the house one time, and Billy here were playing match over the evening. I was washing the van, and a lady pulled up for her after their home from Canada. They were friendly with Mrs. Slattery. She lived here, and Shawnee Slattery worked at Hurley's. He drove a van doing deliveries. And she said to me, there's a name up there inside that plaster, Humorous. You got to say, you'll have to solve my problem now. That's the name I put in the house. And I did.
Brilliant. I was wondering why that only put up recently, it's not up there years, is it?
It's up there a couple of years now. But there's a Humorous down in Burreeville back from the cross below.
Okay. It's right what you said actually, there's so many different names, the Butterford Road, the Old Cork Road and Cooleen's.
I'd say it was known as Button Road, but I'd say it was, now look, I said for Cork Road, I don't know the address.
Well, I've always known it as the Old Cork Road.
Yeah. Golden Vale, I enjoyed playing hurling with Golden Vale, to the best crack of all. Be great. But Golden Vale were playing last game up in Ballyhea when I was around 1969. And Francis Loughnane was playing and Roger Ryan. Matthew Dolan was on Francis Loughnane, he scored 4 or 5 points in. They put me over in the second half. And the first ball became I beat him, the second one hit me, it slapped across the arm. Jimmy Sheehan and myself finished up on the county in Mallow for extra, but nothing broken. And the game ended in a draw. But we met him then below Newport again in the replay. And I was on him again. And Kevin McSweeney was playing at the field. And he turned around and he said to me after half time, they was calling me the giver. Hi giver, he said, where is Francis Loughnane playing? The fellow who played for Tiff. I don't know, Mackerel, I said, I don't see him at all. He mustn't be playing at all. That drum mad altogether. He went out and McSweeney didn't. McSweeney gave him a poke, but he got no score off me, he got a point off for free. But that were great times.
Did you win that match?
We did, we won the Ireland same year.
Very good.
What
year was that, Billy?
It was 1972. There was 2 teams there in 1972. There was one team in 1969. And we met the first one below in Charleville. And there was a huge crowd at it.
Thank you, Billy.
It's a pleasure to meet you and having a talk with you.
Thanks for your time and thanks for Spud for...
No problem.
Thank you.
Any time at all, like a battery, I'm ever ready.
All right. Good man. Thanks, Billy.